Zubab means fly. On the head of the asnam.
That sound effect.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, everyone. Welcome back to another Basic Series podcast. This podcast aims to provide Islamic education and life questions as a Muslim at the comfort of your home or wherever you are. Without further ado, we would like to introduce ourselves. My name is Latifa.
My name is Hadi.
My name is Brother Mahader.
And my name is Ayman.
Ooh, I like his voice.
And this podcast brought to you by, we don't have any sponsor yet, right?
Not yet. So whoever want to sponsor us, come forward and comment on Facebook or... Do we have Facebook?
No.
Oh, sorry.
No,
we don't have Facebook. We have on Instagram.
Yes.
And YouTube. Today we have Brother Ayman today with us to fill in one of our hot seat, you know.
Thank you. Thank you for making me feel welcome. Alhamdulillah.
You're welcome.
So maybe, Brother Ayman, how do you guys know about Basic Series? How do you know about Basic Series? Why do you join us today?
Well, my first intention was to catch up with my friends, Brother Hadi and his wife. I haven't been busy lately with work, and as far as I know, they've been very involved with this Basic Series, and I like the purpose of the Basic Series. So I did not hesitate to join. So that was my intention.
I thought it was just to fill in.
I mean,
It's okay. It's okay. We can use it as a socialize.
Yep.
It's fine.
I didn't realize I have to do this,
Oh my god, it's
Is
okay.
it too loud? Let me just...
Is it?
Okay.
Yeah.
The DJ
Yep.
has forgotten to reduce the volume.
All good.
It's okay. Let's
We
go.
are recording? Yeah, right. Yeah, we are recording. Cool. We are cool.
So we had a really interesting discussion just now. It's really heavy discussion before we record this this podcast. But alhamdulillah, there's a lot of lesson we learned. There's a lot of experience that we shared.
Yeah.
We learned a lot this morning. Alhamdulillah, but that's a bit heavy. But inshallah, one day once we up there, because Basic Series we still talking about basic stuff, basic Prophet stories, basic fiqh ruling and regulation, rulings and jurisprudence,
And basic tajweed as well.
the basic tajweed. So alhamdulillah, so inshallah one day if we bit by
Progressing.
bit bit by bit, inshallah we will get up to the advanced level, inshallah.
What's habba?
Habba is one by one. Habba.
Sound like love, the word habba.
Yeah, hub love. Yeah, habba one by one. Yeah.
Nice. So one by one. So how did Allah one by one bring us He revealed with us all this information, like His ruling and everything.
So Allah give us all this information through their prophets and messengers. So that, like we learn about the story of the prophets Ibrahim. We discuss about how was the environment, the situation during the time of Prophet Ibrahim A.S. And always whenever there's a prophet, there's a message or there's a news to all of us. Yeah, so that's how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala send through us prophet or messengers.
Why do Allah... What happened to the camera? Are we okay? Alright, cool. So what happened? Like, what happened? I mean, why did Allah send us prophets when He could just print a book and just bring it or find at the cave and just read it ourselves? Like how we do it nowadays when we want to drill something to the wall, like YouTube it. Just search and then, okay, now that's how we do it.
Yeah, okay. So I think if you go through books or like what you say, you find in cave, there's no one that can explain and put into action for us to be able to understand better and follow how exactly been taught. Alright, so we need some guidance. We need
example, someone.
Someone teach you, someone explain it to you. Yeah, them display to you how it actually works, how it should be done.
Correct. Yeah. And coming from our conversation earlier before this podcast is started or recorded, we talked about fitrah, right? It's natural for us human to be akin with our own kind, to lead us, rather than following an animal or a mightier creature will be scared.
Or like an idol.
So
that's what happened during the time of Prophet Ibrahim.
It's natural, right? Some people may contest that logic, but it's natural. If something happens, you go to your kind, which we are human beings. That's why
I have colleague is asking me like, how do you know there's a mighty being? Like, these all stories. This is just people can just make up stories. I'm like, what if we had angels? Like we had angels to show us, to demonstrate everything. Because angels, they don't disobey. They don't do anything like it's bad. They just pray and worship. So why not Allah can send us angels to demonstrate to us?
Right. See,
maybe it's because the angels have a different tasks. I think when Allah created everything, everyone has been assigned to a task, like how the Prophet was assigned to teach this Bani Quraysh to do all these things, and then during Prophet Ibrahim's time to not worship the idols, like do the religion the correct way, kind of thing. And then maybe the angels were there as a guardian of the prophets to make sure that they're okay, so that if things fall out, if anything happens, the angel will just send a hidayah to make sure that they will listen to the prophets and what the prophets are trying to teach makes sense. I think that's how I see it. The angels is more like a servant of Allah to make sure that the prophets are doing their tasks in case they need a hand, because Allah has other stuff to focus on, or maybe, look at another prophet.
I thought Allah can multitask.
I feel like Allah can do anything. He's the man of possible. He makes everything possible. But that's just how I see it when I was growing up.
That's right. And you need to distinguish that God does godly things.
That's what I mean.
We're not trying to limit God's power.
Yeah.
For example, He can't throw you out of His dominion, right?
Yeah.
His power reaches beyond what you can see and what you can't think or imagine.
Like He sees things ahead, and I feel like that's what He was trying to do.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Just want to clear. Just want to clear all this. Not clearing. It's just like this. I have young kids asking me that why Allah created women to give birth, and then from and then from semen to blood to flesh to human, and then give birth. And why not Allah just created just like that, right?
Yeah,
like microwave, you just press it.
Just human, just appearing just like that. Yeah. Well, I said this is how Allah Subhanahu wa Taala show His power. If He can create us just like a blink of eye, you appear. But Allah want to show His power.
Correct.
Right?
We know He can, right?
So He can do it that. He can do that way. And that is how Allah in godly He show His power.
Yeah.
And then if you look into worldly matters, right? If Allah did not create, He doesn't show His power that way in stages. Allah create everything all in stages, right? If He did not show His power that He created anything in stages, for example, human being been born, we don't have nurses, we don't have hospital. So if you look into the worldly matters, right? So we don't have doctors, we don't have midwife. So
everyone will be healthy, everyone will be
so we have no employment. Right? So that's how and it's how you're looking into it. And then when you ask about why not Allah ask angel to show us about His religion or to worship Allah, firstly we need to know how Allah Subhanahu wa Taala created angels, how angels been created. Angels is made by light, nur, right? And angels, they are all ma'soom. Ma'soom means they're free from sins. Okay. And then angels, the appearance, the Prophet ﷺ described how Jibril he said that if Jibril,
his sahabat Dia.
So he's in his actual form.
Actual form.
Yeah, so when he opened up his one wings, that covered the whole universe.
Wow.
So that's how massive He is. So now we can imagine that angels have wings, and one wings can have thousands of another wings.
Apparently there's 70 angels in it.
Yeah, so they have 70 angels, and they have wings, more wings.
Wow.
So that's massive. All right. So if angels to teach us about the religion, it's hard for us to understand, because angels, you are not same as us. That's why Allah sent human, like our beloved Prophet Muhammad, or in fact all prophets, they are all human, so we can relate.
Yeah.
or he's human.
They get pain.
Yeah.
They get
they
get hunger.
They've been tortured.
Yeah.
They've been discriminated and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They get married.
Yeah.
They have children. Just like so, it's easy for us to follow. Easy for us to learn from it. It's related. You can see how we can see how they suffer. We can see how they eat. We can see how they sleep. So if we look at the angels, angels, when the Prophet ﷺ Isra Miraj, the journey of the night journey, he saw in first level, these angels, he just stand up worshipping Allah and not doing anything else. And then the other level, he saw the angels doing bowing, ruku, not doing anything else. And the other level, sujud, not doing anything else. So if we've been taught or we've been shown by the angels, we will say that this is not relevant to us.
That's what I mean. And then each 25 prophets have their own tasks of what to deliver, of what to teach us.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's a lot more meaningful to see someone, not that the angels are not meaningful, but it's a lot more to see it in action and having someone to like guide us through and stuff like that.
So number one to your question is someone related to you, human being. So you can, he's human. He has two eyes like me.
Yeah.
And the second one is why so many prophets is because different era has got different
and then I think it's like what Brother Mahader said. It's like you know how
stages.
we gave birth stages.
Yeah.
So it's like first like when we download our software, or just fix the bugs in the photo, and when we download the next software, is fix the bug in the typing. So it's like the first few prophets teach us about not to fight with each other, and then the next prophet teach more of like how to be like patient, like Nabi Ayub, be patient with all the Nabi Ayub
in stages and what the society or the people needed at that time. And then now come the next question is why stop at Muhammad? Right. And
I think it's because we've already done it all. Like there's so many series.
Well, our answer is we have to come back to the book. The book testifies. Whether they believe it or not, the book testifies that this religion has been final and perfected. To date, I mean,
correct. Yeah.
Yes.
So every prophet has been sent towards their own community. So they have to guide their own communities. They have to Nabi, right? Nabi means give news. Give news. So they have to give news, and then they have to remind. They have to warn their own peoples. But when it comes to the Prophet ﷺ, he was sent to all humankind. So. He's
like the last update.
He's the seals of all prophets.
It's like he had to make sure,
he's a
last iOS
stamp. And then it's relevant to his current ummah, his future ummah, and his previous nation.
Yes,
inshallah.
So it's that our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
I think we would like to recap with our last episode. When we talk about Nabi Ibrahim, where do we touch base? Like we talk about how the prophets, there's also among prophets, there's also the higher class, the elites you were talking about.
The Ulul Azmi. The Prophet Ibrahim A.S, he is the Ulul Azmi, one of the elite prophets that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent to his people. So you can remember 5 Ulul Azmi. They are Nabi Nuh, Nabi Ibrahim, Nabi Musa, Nabi Isa, and Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So these are the Ulul Azmi. And then last week, last podcast, we discussed about the what do you call it? The father of Nabi Ibrahim A.S. He's the idol seller. He's a businessman. He's selling idols, and he also craft idols. He sell idols, he craft, and he worship idols. So that is Nabi Ibrahim A.S. Prophets. We read this book, so we continue this time with Qissatul Nabiyyin from Hasan Ali An-Nadwi about the stories of the prophets, all the prophets. So today we continue.
Yes, please.
So again, this book we read in Arabic. I will translate. It's very basic Arabic. That's what basic series are. We speak in this chapter 2. We talk about Waladun Aazar,
boy,
the son of Aazar.
Son of Aazar. Okay. وَكَانَ آزَارُ لَهُ وَلَدٌ رَشِيدٌ
طيب.
رَشِيدٌ جِدًا.
Rashidun.
Wait, what was Jiddan again? I messed it up.
Great. Is it very?
Yes,
very,
yeah.
yeah.
Jiddan.
So it says here that so Aazar, he has a young boy. Rashidun means intelligent.
Someone's phone.
Okay, that's a donation.
$10.
Okay. We have a thing where if someone's phone buzzes or rings, you have to do a donation.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's $10 per ring.
What are you doing for prop, Badmadi?
Sorry, the book. So yeah, Kana Azaru lahu waladun Rashidun. Aazar has a son, a boy, a son. Rashidun jiddan.
Is there another son named Rashid?
So Rashid here means intelligent. In Rashid, there's two meanings. One is intelligent. One is someone that leader.
When you just going off track a bit. When you say there's two meaning, does that mean, for example, the word in English? I'm trying to think where there's two meaning. There's a word with two meaning.
Which one?
Present and present.
Synonyms?
Present and present. They both spell the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is that like that, or is it when you say have two meaning it's like the word love can like the love like for example Asad or something.
No, love also you can say love of a brother kan. La yu'minu ahadukum hatta yuhibba li akhihi ma yuhibbu li nafsihi. Your iman is not complete until you love your brothers. Love here doesn't mean that you love with desire. Love here you mean care, concern.
What is that?
Like with kindness.
Hope.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you care, concern. But it's different love towards your spouse, different love towards your parents. Yeah. So you still use the same word love, right?
Right.
So that's Rashid here also means like intelligent. So his intelligence has the ability to lead people.
Okay, yeah.
So Rashid.
So that's combined.
It has two meanings. It has two meanings. But Nabi Ibrahim has two meanings with Rashid in him. He's intelligent and he can have the ability to lead people. Just like the words
like Khalifah Rashidun.
Khulafa Rashidin. Khulafa Rashidin. Yeah, those are the Khalifah that lead the Ummah. Right? Rashidin. Just one other thing I just forgot now. Anyway. Yeah, Aziz. The word Aziz is very powerful. That's something you cannot overcome. Okay. And then the same word Aziz also is rare. It's hard to find. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Aziz. He is very powerful. You cannot overcome him. But he's unique at the same way that you cannot find any other God like him.
Yes. MashaAllah, like in the Quran, some of the last ayah you see the word Aziz. So meaning like the Quran is actually, I'm not saying it's shortcut. It's like Arabic language is just
very
compressed.
Rich. It's very rich.
Very rich, and it's like if you read it and again, you can actually come out with two meanings and five meanings sometimes. Yeah. And then like if it was in English, the Quran would be with 10 or 15 volumes.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
And Arabic is just mashallah, man.
That's why the knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is very broad, right? There's mentioned in the Quran that if you collect all the trees in this world to make a pen, and you collect all the water in this world, the oceans, the rivers, to make the ink, to write the knowledge of Allah, until the pen get destroyed and then the ink gets dried, there's still more to write the knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Just make imagine of the place is it Mariana Trench?
The deepest.
And all the waters there and everything. Just wow, like
there's still more to write the knowledge of Allah. There's some scholars was telling me that if that cycle been cycled 7 times, there's still more to write the knowledge of Allah. And then if you want to look at our knowledge, right? For me, we don't have knowledge. You go to Kuji Beach, right? You take your thumbs and then you put your thumbs in the water, and then you lift up your thumbs, and then you can see there's some water still sticking on your thumbs, and then they're still dripping down. The water that's sticking in your thumb is your knowledge, and the whole ocean, the knowledge of Allah.
No, because I'm just trying to imagine like how long will it take for someone to do that? Like they're gonna like what you said, you need like a lot of trees to like write, and then for the ink with the water as well. So I was just like, hang on. Imagine if you dedicate your whole life rewriting the Quran, going through all this. It's going to take forever.
Inshallah.
I just feel like be humble. Sit down.
Okay.
By the way, it's a reference. It's a song.
Irrelevant comment.
It's a song.
Was it?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
be humble.
Very, very good. Very good to cheer the mood up a bit.
Okay.
Continue.
All right. And then وَكَانَ اسْمُ هَذَا الْوَلَدْ Ibrahim. Now the story introducing his name. This boy's name is
Ibrahim.
Ibrahim. وَكَانَ إِبْرَاهِيمُ يَرَى النَّاسِ يَسْجُدُونَ لِلْأَصْنَامِ. So Ibrahim يَرَى النَّاسِ, he see people
worship at the idols.
make sujud
Sujud.
to these idols. So the Ibrahim at that time he's a very young boy, approximately about 7 years old.
Yeah.
He see these people yasjud, I mean they make prostration to the idols. وَيَرَى النَّاسَ يَعْبُدُونَ الْأَصْنَامِ. And then he's seeing these people يَعْبُدُونَ. Now, just now prostrate, now worship. Alright? Worship asnam. وَكَانَ إِبْرَاهِيمُ يَعْرِفُ أَنَّ الْأَصْنَامِ حِجَارَةٌ. And Ibrahim...
Travel? Hijrah?
Hijara here means rock.
Or rock.
Asnam was made by rock. The idols was
I thought
made
it was
by rock.
pebble.
Purple?
Yeah, hijara. I thought it was pebble.
You mean the color purple?
No, pebble.
Oh, pebbles.
Oh.
That is rock.
Okay, so it's
Yeah.
right. Okay.
Okay, Ibrahim, he knows that this asnam, these idols was made by rock. He know his daddy, his father,
Yeah.
craft the asnam, the idols. وكان يعرف أن الأصنام لا تتكلم ولا تسمع.
Not talking and
so
not hearing.
يعرف means he knows that
Yeah.
these idols not talking,
Yeah.
not listening. Cannot talk, cannot listen. وكان يعرف أن الأصنام لا تضر ولا تنفع. And he knows that this asnam la taduru means does not harm anybody, wala tanfa does not benefits anybody.
Yep.
At that age, he knows that already. وكان يرى أن الذباب يجلس على الأصنام فلا تدفع. And then he's seeing that this zubab means fly. On the head of the asnam.
That sound effect.
on the head of the asnam. What asnam means?
Idol. An idol.
And the idols does not tadfa, does not hit the fly away. Yeah.
You know they use that fly.
Swat. Swat?
Yeah.
Fly swat, right?
Nice one.
So the asnam, the idol does not hit the fly
I
away.
think Aazar have to buy that blue light thingy.
So they all get attracted to that. And then out of nowhere you can hear the word electric. That means the fly hit the electric thing. So that's what happened when Nabi Ibrahim alayhi salam, he sees all these idols does not talk, doesn't listen,
Like they just
doesn't shoot away the
doesn't hit away the fly, and it doesn't harm anybody.
Yeah.
Doesn't benefit
Like it's
anybody.
pointless.
Yeah. وَكَانَ يَرَى الْفَأْرَ يَأْكُلُ طَعَامَ الْأَصْنَامِ فَلَا تَمْنَعْ. This is even worse. Because the people in the village, what they do, apart from worshipping the idols, they brought food. They put at the bottom on the food of the idols.
Yep.
And then Nabi Ibrahim alayhi salam, he's seeing that, or he saw a mouse eating the food.
That must be the god.
So he eating the food. And
That's ratatouille.
And the idols does not shoo. Does not
do that.
Yeah, that's not stopping the mouse from eating his food.
But then doesn't also like some people think that's the idol eating the food though? You know how some people like think that way and they're like, oh look, the foods are gone, the idols are eating it.
In fact, the people knows that. The people know that because the story comes after.
Yeah. Because that's interesting.
When Nabi Ibrahim alayhi salam explained to these people, and they acknowledge that the idols doesn't do anything. They know that it's just that the heart has been closed with the guidance for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the most sense. Yeah. So وَكَانَ إِبْرَاهِيمُ يَقُولُ فِي نَفْسِهِ. To Ibrahim alayhi salam, he said to himself, لِمَاذَا يَسْجُدُ النَّاسُ لِلْأَصْنَامِ. Why these people, they prostrate, they make sujud to these idols. وَكَانَ إِبْرَاهِيمُ يَسْأَلُ النَّفْسَ. And the Prophet Ibrahim, he asked himself, Limaza yas'alun nasul asnam? Why these people ask from these idols? So look at this Prophet Ibrahim, when he at that age, 7 years old, he has this thinking. He asks himself, he has this intelligence, right? When you mentioned just now, Rashidun Jiddan. He has this intelligence. And how smart Nabi Ibrahim, at that age, he can see that Asnam, the idols, cannot do anything for anybody. So that's how the Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, he was exposed, although he was exposed at a young age with these people in this village worshipping idols, but because of the guidance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he can see the truth that he don't find logic and making any sense for someone older than him worshipping something that is not benefiting.
At an age of 7 years old.
At the age of 7, approximately, yeah.
That's quite smart though.
Yeah, so look at our...
Very smart. I mean, quite smart. Very, very smart.
Super smart. I wish if I had a son to be as smart as him, that'd be a legend.
Make dua.
Inshallah.
Yeah. So this is the story. This is second chapter that Aazar has a son called Ibrahim alayhi salam. He's a Rashidun Jiddan.
Why do we say alayhi salam? Like, is it being taught by the Prophet or what?
Yeah, so we've been encouraged to say alayhi salam, peace be upon them, peace be upon him, to the prophets. So we get the
alayhim. So upon
alayhi salam, upon him
peace.
Peace, yeah.
Alayhi salam. And then why do Prophet Muhammad is different a bit? Like sallallahu alayhi wasallam.
Yeah, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that's where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us to make salutation upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Inna Allaha wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi. Indeed, Allah and the angels making salutation upon the Prophet, and then Allah commanded, Ya ayyuhallazina amanu sallu alaihi wa sallimu taslima, O people of Iman. When Allah called these, He only called the people of Iman. Have belief, have faith in Allah and His messenger to make salutation upon the Prophet. And how we've been taught by the Prophet to make salutation by him, by make salutation by saying Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam.
Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, meaning
Allah salutation to Allah, salutation upon the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and peace upon him.
Nice.
Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik alaihi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So making salutation. Yeah. So hopefully by reading this story of the prophets, and then with the questions and the discussion that we had, it make us get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Get closer to God. The scholars there's so many ways to get closer to Allah. So many ways. But I just say three points to get closer to Allah from the scholars.
Right.
Number one,
pen and paper, guys.
Number one, to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is ilm, knowledge. Because the Prophet ﷺ said, Talab al-ilmu faridatun ala kulli muslimin wa muslimat. Seeking knowledge is obligatory upon Muslim, be it man or woman.
Yep. Any knowledge, right? It doesn't have to be like Islamic knowledge, let's say like.
Yeah, so it's the knowledge of deen, the knowledge of the religion is obligatory upon all of us. All right. Yeah, we have dunyawi knowledge, we have ukhrawi knowledge. So ukhrawi knowledge, we have fard. There are some fard. Fard means obligatory knowledge. For example, we as a Muslim, we need to seek knowledge how to pray to Allah, how to salat. That's the first thing. About cleanliness, tahara. These are all the knowledge that we obligatory upon us to learn. All right. So knowledge is very important, and we discussed just now, the knowledge of Allah is vast, is broad, right? So with the more knowledge you have, right, the lesser dispute and argument you will have. The less knowledge you have, the more argument and the more dispute you have. So we have to lower down the argument. You need to seek knowledge. All right. So knowledge is very important. To get closer to Allah, you need to have knowledge. Second, number two, to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you must have amal. So first ilm, second amal. Practice. Put into practice the knowledge. Al-ilmu bila amal kashajara bila samar. Knowledge without practice is just like a tree that does not bear any fruits. Yeah. Does just not benefit anything.
It's a very good analogy.
Yeah, and in fact,
it is true. Yeah.
Imam Al-Ghazali, he said in the book called Ayyuhal Walad, he said that La takun min amali muflisa. Don't be poor in amal. Muflisa. Don't become poor in put into practice your knowledge.
Muflis is not like bankrupt.
Yeah, you're bankrupt. You got nothing to do, right? So you have knowledge. You need to put into practice. You don't become poor of not making any amal. All right. So number 2 is I give you some example, right? Imam Ghazali, he said in the book, he said just imagine there's a young man fit, and he has 10 different sword, 10 different thickness, 10 different sharpness. So he entered the jungle, thick jungle. He alone, okay? And then out of nowhere, in the middle of the jungle, this man faced a fierce lion in front of him, roaring.
Sorry, lion don't live in the jungle.
Huh?
Lion don't live in the jungle.
In the desert, is it?
Is it like in the jungle? I thought tiger in the jungle. It's alright. Sorry.
All right. Anyway.
Sorry.
So this lion is ready to attack him. Okay. Ghaba means forest.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
So this lion is so fierce. The 10 sword doesn't mean anything, doesn't help anything.
Like it was useless.
If he did not use it.
Yeah.
It's useless if he did not use that sword to overcome the lion or to protect himself. Just like us, if we go to many sheikh or shuyukh, we learn from ustaz or ustazas, or we read so many books, all right? But if we did not put into practice what we have learned, doesn't mean anything.
It's like with cooking. If you look at the recipe and you don't know how to do
exactly.
it, you're not going to survive. How are you going to eat?
You're still starving.
Yeah.
Right? And then you have all this knowledge,
hungry now.
but you it doesn't get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Yeah.
You never get closer if you do not put into practice. So that's number 3. That's number 2. Number 3 is da'wah.
Okay.
Da'wah, calling people to Allah. What is da'wah? Da'wah is
basic series.
pretty much that's what we do in connecting oneself to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Like sharing and like
like sharing, advising, reminding people, teaching others.
We should talk about da'wah in a separate topic in about life, because everyone have a different
ways
kind
of doing it.
Yeah, and some people are very like serious about it, like very strict and but we would probably have a episode about it, inshallah.
Inshallah. We talk about just da'wah.
Da'wah.
That's good, inshallah. So that's the number 3 dish is da'wah. And you look at the common factors, but all the sahaba, the companions, they all do da'wah.
Yes.
All of them doing da'wah.
So what are the 3s? What's the first one?
Amen? That's the first one? Ilm. Which means knowledge.
Yep. Second one?
Second one is
Amal.
Why are you guys looking at me? Okay, Amal practice it.
Knowledge. Yes.
And
Third
the last
one
is to do da'wah.
Yay.
Da'wah.
Nice.
So da'wah is getting in fact da'wah requires some sacrifice.
So this is the recipe to get close to Allah.
Get closer to Allah, inshallah.
So can this apply to anyone from beginners level to expert level? Like for example, like I only know that, for example, at beginner level, eating with the right hand is the sunnah or the right way to do it. And then to practice it, I eat with my right hand. And then da'wah, meaning advise someone if you eat from the left hand,
it's bad.
Maybe you should try.
When you practicing, right? And then you sitting in front of everybody, you sit with the family and you eat with your right hand. Or in fact, when we are in the Western country, right, you have lunch with your colleagues, non-Muslim colleagues. You just eat together with them, and then you eat with right hand, and you just say, hey, let's eat with right hand. It's more beneficial than left hand.
What if they're left-handed?
Yeah, this is sunnah, right? But this is what da'wah is about. Hey, this not what I did in my working place, that when I share my food with them, like some pastries or whatever, they pass around, I tell them, okay, if you take from me, take from right hand. And then they are, why? Because it's our tradition of our Prophet that we eat with our right hand. That's da'wah. It's for them to follow or not. That's different story. That's okay.
But so you shouldn't like you just advise, but you shouldn't be expecting them to.
No, you not advise. You're just telling them our tradition. We eat with right hand.
So if they take it with the left, just
that's fine.
Let it be.
And it actually works, when I'm sharing foods with my colleagues, Over time, they are very conscious when they want taking from the food from me. They will ask me, right hand, right? Yeah, right. And it's become okay, that's cool. Yeah, so
it's like a habit now.
Yeah. So that
my I'm not saying I'm doing dawah. If you say it that way, mine is like Friday, hadith day. Because I'm going Friday prayer. Because I have to be finished early.
You have Friday prayers, right?
Do you have Fridays?
I don't know. So I have I only work for my hours. I don't do overtime on Friday. So I'm like, okay, Friday is hadith day because the only day you see me back at the office early.
So that is da'wah by telling people Friday is our Friday. We have our prayer. It's a big day for a Muslim. It's a big day. So they know, okay, that's Muslim. Friday is there. So they allow you to for Friday prayers and all that. So
it's like how we tell our workers, like, it's Ramadan, we're fasting.
Oh, exactly. Like all that is da'wah. Inshallah.
Alrighty, perfect. Thanks for listening to this podcast. Everyone, don't forget to follow us on YouTube, Spotify, and Instagram. Do comment to us what other topics you guys would like to discuss about. Don't forget to share with your loved ones. See you guys next Friday. Assalamualaikum.
يا ربنا اعترفنا بأننا اقترفنا وأننا أسرفنا على لظى أشرفنا فتب علينا توبة تغسل كل حوبة واستر لنا العورات وآمن الروعات واغفر لوالدينا ربي ومولودينا والأهل والإخوان وسائر الخلان وكل ذي محبة أو جيرة أو صحبة والمسلمين أجمع آمين ربي فاسمع فضلا وجودا منا لا باكتساب منا بالمصطفى الرسول نهضى بكل سول صلى وسلم ربي عليه عند الحب وآله والصحب عداد تشي السحب والحمد لله في البدء والتناهي آمين.